It's been a little over a month since we wrapped up that ambitious Bridgestone MB2 build. You know, the one with the ridiculous 52-tooth gear range to help with my shoulder injury? If you haven't seen that series, I'll drop a link in the description below. As anyone who builds a custom bike knows, the initial build is just the beginning. After putting some miles on the MB2, I've noticed a few things that need to be tweaked to get it dialed in perfectly. First up, the gearing. You might remember that the only 94 BCD chainring I could get my hands on during the initial build was this 32-tooth narrow wide. These Shimano Dior LX cranks on there now, they're a retro grouch's dream, an absolute classic. But their 94 BCD limits my chainring options, and paired with that massive 52-tooth cassette, it's just a bit too spinny for most of the riding I do around here. I find myself rarely getting out of the middle of the cassette. To fix that, we're going bigger up front with the 38-tooth chainring. And to make this happen, we're swapping out those excellent LX cranks for these beauties, 100% pure Paul cranks. These are JDS Square Taper, a truly sweet set of cranks. Don't worry, those LX cranks aren't going to waste. I'll proudly toss them into my parts bin for a future build worthy of their greatness. But these Paul cranks with that 38T chainring should give me a much more usable gear range. Next on the list is some skipping I've been experiencing while shifting into the lowest gears. This could be a few things. Maybe the chain line isn't quite optimal with the wider cassette, or it could even be a slightly bent derailleur hanger. We're going to take a closer look and get that shifting smooth across the entire range. Finally, I've noticed a little bit of play in the headset. It's a simple fix, but it's important for overall safety and longevity of the bearings. We'll take a few minutes to get that adjusted properly. So today's mission is all about refining this already unique machine. We're upgrading the cranks and chainring for better gearing, diagnosing and fixing that skipping in the lower gears, and tightening up the headset. Let's dive into it and make this Bridgestone MB2 even better. Now, the skipping I've been experiencing in the low gears, curiously, now that it's in the stand, every gear is hitting perfectly. This actually makes me think the derailleur hanger is straight. Instead, the skipping is likely a chainline issue that only shows up under load while riding. As I shift through the gears here, keep a close eye on the chain line. It's hard to tell definitely, but I'm getting a strong feeling it's way off. That's likely the culprit for our skipping under load. First things first, we need to clear the way for our new cranks. That means removing the pedals. Righty-tighty or lefty-loosey for the right pedal, and lefty-tighty, righty-loosey for the other. Next, we remove the bolt securing the drive side crank arm. We'll also take the chain off the chain ring, just to get it out of the way and prevent any snags when the crank arm comes off. Now for the satisfying part, the crank arm puller. We thread this tool on, making sure it's screwed on all the way. Give it a few turns, and with a satisfying pop, the drive side crank arm is off. Then we repeat the process for the non-drive side. With the old cranks out, we're one step closer to getting these new Paul cranks installed. With the cranks out of the way, this is a perfect opportunity to do some much needed cleaning. A little Dawn power wash and a microfiber cloth make quick work of it. Getting this area spotless ensures a clean slate for our new components, plus it's just satisfying to see all that gunk disappear. Out with the old, in with the new. Here's our original Shimano Dior LX cranks with its 32-tooth chainring next to the new 100% pure Paul cranks sporting a significantly larger 38-tooth ring. You can clearly see the difference that 6 teeth will make, which should put our ridiculous gear range right into the sweet spot. With our bottom bracket area sparkling clean, it's time to install the drive side pawl crank arm. Precision is key here, making sure it slides on smoothly and seats properly on the spindle. A quick tighten, and then we repeat the process on the non-drive side arm. Just like that, our new cranks are installed, transforming the heart of our drivetrain. Next up, reconnecting the chain and testing things to see how it shifts. With our new cranks in place, it's time to get the chain back where it belongs, draped over that new 38-tooth chainring. This is where we get our first feel for our upgraded gearing. A few revolutions of the crank arms, and everything is looking smooth. No weird noises, no catching. That's a good sign that our chain line, well, perhaps not perfect yet, is in a better place. Next up, the pedals. These versatile steel pedals go back on, ensuring we apply a little grease to the threads first. It's a small step that saves a lot of headache down the road if you ever want to remove them. With the new crank arms installed, it's time for the moment of truth. Testing the shifting. And just like that, everything is working perfectly. Smooth, crisp shifts across the entire ridiculous gear range. With our drivetrain now dialed in, let's tackle the last lingering issue, the play in the headset. The key here is finding that sweet spot. We'll gently tighten the bearing race, not too tight, which would cause binding, and not too loose, leaving us with that unwanted play. It's all about feel, ensuring a smooth rotation without any wobble. Once the bearing race is perfectly tensioned, we secure it firmly with the lock nut, locking everything into place. Now with the solid front end and our ridiculous gear range working flawlessly, it's time for a test ride to see if it still skips in low gear. With our adjustments made, it's time for the ultimate test, putting these low gears through their paces out on the road. We're starting on flat ground, and right away, everything looks good. The new chainring feels great, plus those pawl cranks are a joy to spin. A few more passes and no issues to report here. The drivetrain feels incredibly smooth and responsive, which is exactly what we were aiming for. Now for the real challenge, those short, punchy hills. This is where our previous skipping issues would really show themselves. We're going to make 2 passes, shifting directly into these low gears, to see if our fix holds up. First pass, absolutely perfect. No skipping, no hesitation, just smooth power to the rear wheel. And a second pass confirms it. I think we finally have those low gears completely dialed in. It's incredibly satisfying to feel that reliable performance, especially with our ridiculous gear range. If you made it this far, you're a true champion. Don't forget to show that thumbs up button some love and subscribe for more Retro Grouch content.